Precisely 4 months ago, the Senate called the IGP of the Nigerian police. There are nothing less than 178, 459, as you can see on my screen over there. Guns are missing, right? And immediately we are seeing, very young recruits of bandits in the desert having this military tactical training. What this simply points towards is there is a serious complicity, and of course there's this serious connection between the banditry in Nigeria and of course some lackeys, right? Some complicitness from the Nigerian armed forces, or should I say the Nigerian security apparatus. Right from the days of Buhari, the guns started missing right into when Tinubu became the president. Within a space of 2019 to 2024, over 214,000 AK-47. We have always said that. How come these elders are harmed? Because to acquire one AK-47 is no piece of cake. It's not a piecemeal. It not be moi and akara. The cost of acquiring one AK-47 is no less than 300 million. And you will see these ragtag elders, these Fulani elders that do not have the financial capacity to feed themselves for a 3 square meal, having a balanced diet, wielding this AK-47. It simply means that some corrupt political northern elites, who have that deep-rooted and deep-seated connection in the police or within the security apparatus, have been able to secure those guns legally or illegally, I do not want to know, and pass it or push it down into the street, and hence we have that unstoppable, unabated level of insecurity. There's a serious matter going on, and this is why we keep telling our southern youth, those who wants to join the coalition, our southern presidential aspirant that want to unseat Tinubu. These are people that will tell that, listen, you're going into the 2027 election. It's a war because Nigeria has been doomed. How can you phantom? I cannot comprehend 240,000, not be 24, not be 240, not be 2,400, 240,000 AK-47. I can literally tell you that Benin Republic does not even have up to that amount of guns. Benin Republic, they don't have up to such amount of guns. Yet, this is what is missing in the artillery of the Nigerian security apparatus. And the Nigerian Senate, of course, which have been captured by the North, the Nigerian police, which have been captured by the North as I speak, the Nigerian army, which are likely captured by the North, are not in any way maybe shaking up the system, trying to look for those guns. I have always said that Nigeria is the only country that would not adopt technology. Most countries in Africa, are you talking about Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, none of their guns, right? None of their guns acquired, whether from foreign mercenaries, foreign countries, wherever, that does not have what we call a GPS monitoring or tracking system. When you have a gun, such gun must have a tracking system attached to it, so that in case that gun is being stolen, you will also look the person for the motorist, see this equals, see where he carry the gun go, see where he carry the gun go. This is why you see that when any plane crash, any maybe American assets, military asset is being maybe bombed, damaged or anything, you don't see those militants, they don't pick it, they will not pick it. Or any Russian military asset, you will not see any military, any insurgent go and pick it up, because they know that it has one automatic explosive system, like a sensor, or it has a tracking sensor. So if you steal them, you carry and go your base, They go track una, they go know where una dey. Nigeria has a capacity. After all, they've always lied to us that we're African giants, right? So we have the capacity. All those 240 guns could have been made that they are traceable. Hence, we know where it goes. But because we know that the powers that be, those that have captured this country, that rule and administer and make the decisions that concerns Nigeria, are the ones behind the insecurity. And this is why you see me sometimes, I come to the floor and say that those that demand for a complete secession are completely right. Because no state, no country will ever progress if it can sleep with its two eyes closed, knowing fully well that over 240 guns have been missing and not one single person head was rolled. What's the name of that former police IG? Is it Adamu something? That man with the big stomach? And now we have Egbetokun. Egbetokun came and said, I'm going to show you a video where he was being interrogated by the Senate. They asked him, Oga, under your watch, 240 guns got missing. He started blabbing. He said, the point is, he started from the days, he has to just keep quiet and get the job done. If this missing of guns, gun getting missing started from Buhari, okay, when you got in there, why didn't you probe it? Why did you not probe it? You know, the video that I showed earlier, that those guys are in the desert, they are in the desert practicing how to shoot here and there. You know, they have guns, they have free access to guns, so you cannot compete with them. How can I mean, sometimes I just pity the people of Benue because they are closer to those guys. And I've always said that we in the South must not look away. We have to ensure that Middle Belt does not break up, because Middle Belt serves as that fortress into the South. The Middle Belt axis, specifically the Benue and Plateau, which is a very strategic core to the fortress defending and protecting the South, must never fall to the Fulani Caliphate. It mustn't, because when it does fall, the global South, or should I say the Nigerian South, as you know, consisted in Nigerian contraption today, will eventually be overwhelmed. Because how do you outcompete these headers, these armed Fulanis who are getting the guns for free? How do you? How they have access? Because we can assume, right? We can assume that from that 240,000 missing guns, let me be economical and let me be rational. Let's say about 140,000 is in the hands of these people. Then maybe 100,000 has been sold across Africa. I'm just saying. Then maybe about 30,000 is in the South. Maybe the rogues, the cultists, and all that. They have it. Is it not? I mean, is it not mad? Like crazy. You expect us to go and confront those armed headers who have access to unlimited amount of free AK-49 and AK-47 that are not just, these are not low grade, these are top grades, because these were stolen right from the, you know, the artillery, right from the where the armories of the Nigerian security apparatus. Because the Nigerian will buy the top grade. They will not buy the Pakistani grade. They'll probably buy the Russian grade assault rifles. So you know what I mean. So this is why you see in most cases they have the capacity to face the Nigerian army. Yes, they have the capacity because they are using a standard, right, that is just at par with the Nigerian army. That's it. And in most cases, even superior to the Nigerian army. Because they have gotten some people who are internal saboteurs, who somehow, some way, have been able to smuggle these guns. And in the last 5 years, these guys remain undetected. It is crazy. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I mean, these guys, how on earth will they be totally untraceable? It is just crazy for me to comprehend. It is a clear, explanation or narration that Nigeria is doomed to fail. 240,000 guns went missing. The IGP head didn't roll. The National Security Advisor's head did not roll. The president did not cry over this. The DSS somehow are blind. And what we see next are the Fulani bandits in the forest, in the desert. We can see small children as old as 10 years, 11 years, having access to AK-47 that doesn't cost less than 3 million. No matter how brave I am, no matter how intelligent I am, no matter how learned I am, I just one bullet, I don't go. I don't move. You know what I mean? I don't move, come on, for this life. Just one bullet by a child that cannot intellectually withstand or stand by me. So you see that it is the people who owns the barrel. When you have the barrel, you control the power. When you have the barrel, you do not just control the power, you control the polity, you even control the life of the people who do not have the barrel. This was how we were enslaved. When the white colonial masters came, they did not come with peace, they came with firearm. And when they tried to dialogue with us, some of those of our kings that resisted, we know what they did. We know what they did to the Benue Empire. We know what they did with the Southeasterners. We know what they did with the Jebus right here in Southwest. It is the man who wields the barrel, of course, that has the last say as we speak. So, and you expect us to remain at peace? And those that want to go into contestation by 2027 think Nigeria is still at peace? Instead of them to be demanding for the accounting of such missing guns. Oh, they are right there discussing coalition. Yesterday, I attended that coalition. Obi was asked the question. They said, Oga, what do you want to do differently in 2023? Because Tinubu that we know is a godfather of thugs. We all know this. There is no, this is not even a secret. This is just something that is obvious to everybody. Everybody knows that Tinubu controls the largest gangs of thugs in Nigeria. Okay, you want to go into it? Obi said, well, I will not be violent, but we will ensure that we man each polling unit, each collection center. And then I asked myself, man it with what? With stick? I've been with cutlass. Well, that is by the way. I know we will sit down and watch what 2027 will have for us. But what I know is 2027 will not be. In fact, it will be worse. If care is not taken, 2027, the election might be over before 2 p.m. I'm telling you, it might be over. Because if our southern candidates cannot begin to tell us that we have to go into that 27 like it is a war, it's a matter of life and death, we all must ensure that we are going there to fight for our future. Yet you are telling, yes, they are dishing out statements that there is not going to, we shouldn't be violent. If I reach there, should be I go to look. We're going to look the polling unit now. When those ones carry dagger come, my guys make another violent. Okay, I no deal. Well, I saw them carry gun. I saw them snatch the ballot box. There's absolutely nothing I can do. In the north, oh, you want to see vote there where they don't get AK-49, oh boy. Listen guys. It is clearly apparent to me now that the Nigerian security would never end. Okay? Because those that are in power for their own political gains will always have to yield to those headers who have the AK-47. Among us are still getting missing as the day goes by. Every day now ain't gone they miss. So since Egbetoku don't did, you can imagine the amount in thousands that have gone missing. In terms of maybe mortar, in terms of AKs, in terms of pistols. So you can imagine, right? So you know what I mean when I say that the insecurity of Nigeria, I do not see an end to it. Anybody that tries to end insecurity, you must take a cue from Jonathan. Jonathan did what no government has ever done. He went to South Africa, he went to Belarus. He said, I want to bring in machineries. These are countries that have what we call technological advancement. Right from a room, they can actually sort out this insecurity. On their system, they will see how the headers are moving. They're going to see like this in real time. They're going to see the camera. And you know what followed? The northern oligarchs came out that any attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the north. Buhari said it with his mouth. The Sultan came out. The Sultan said that the Boko Harams are freedom fighters from the north against bad governors. So you see, you won't go fight insecurity. What be saying that the north they get them? You are a joker. Let's watch the interrogation of Egbetokun. Bye for now.
And the police Armoury records between the year 2000 and 2020. During an investigative hearing by the Public Accounts Committee, the Nigerian Senate expressed worry over the whereabouts of 3,907 firearms. The lawmakers sought to know why the ammunition are missing and unaccounted for in the police force and how the police are tracking those responsible for the action.
15 training institutions, total number of missing ammunition 601, not reported was the remarks. 2, 23 formations, 42 missing items, not reported. Number 3, 37 police commands, 1,514, not reported. 4, zone 1 to 12, 29, not reported. 5, PMF 1 to 68, 1,721 missing items, non-reported was the remark, and the source was extract from schedules of returns of arms and loss of arms as at January 2020.
The lawmakers further pressed the police to explain how such a high number of firearms could go missing without accountability and warned that the ammunition might have fallen into the wrong hands, a situation that fuels criminal activities across the country.
And this is a very big revelation for Nigerians to see what is happening. If 3,900 firearms, mainly AK-47 and other rifles, are in the hands of enemies, that tells you that we are not safe. Even the police is not safe.
If you remain in sky and police force, what you have just said is not correct.
I'm telling you.
Whether by common sense
or by law.
You attach people to the government. You didn't attach them to the city. Which is the correct question? Were they attached to the governor or they attached to the office? To the building? Is the governor assumed to be mobile or stationed? Under the rules of engagement, the police attached to the governor. When the governor is traveling, are they to take permission before they travel? Those attached to me regularly tells me that they go to regularize not only the booking of their arms, but also from time to time that they are where they are supposed to be.
Some commands and formation did not report loss of firearms and ammunition. Consequently, signals were sent to the affected formation to produce comprehensive investigation report on the loss of the said ammunition and on the firearms and ammunition, as well as complete Treasury Form 146 for audit attachment in pages 219 to 224.
At the end of the session, the lawmakers demanded that the Office of the Inspector General of Police reappear before the Senate Committee of Public Accounts with a comprehensive explanation on the location of the missing firearms. Joy Uchejim, TV 360, Lagos.